first kind of guy. She said they had sex in the missionary position and that Trump told her she reminded him of his daughter. Feels like we should lock him up just for that, right?
Trump's character flaws were exposed by Stormy Daniels, and his family, especially Melania, must be struggling with the fallout. Sadly, he continues to deteriorate without any signs of improvement, and has become a laughingstock instead of a serious presidential candidate. Jimmy Kimmel seized the opportunity to discuss Stormy's courtroom drama and added his own brand of humor to poke fun at Trump. Comedians like Jimmy have an endless supply of material thanks to Trump's antics, and he approached the topic with his usual style and wit. Jimmy quipped, "Okay folks, take a break. It was one heck of a stormy day for our favorite ex-president, and we're broadcasting live from our Hollywood studio, also known as the exit ramp in the Donald Trump hush money trial this afternoon."
Prosecution today called their star witness, their porn star witness, Stormy Daniels, took the stand this morning, and for Donald, I can only imagine the nervous farting was off the charts.
The comedian happily recounted the court proceedings and expressed his joy at being brought up again. He recounted how the prosecutors questioned Stormy Daniels on his show and analyzed her signature on a letter that was created by someone associated with Trump to refute their supposed affair. Daniels admitted to playfully altering her signature as a nod to Jimmy Kimmel, who jokingly referred to himself as the trial's version of Cohen. He then gave a brief glimpse into the conversation that took place.
Original statement, the signature on the original statement does not match the signature on this statement, and I went through my library of photographs of you to compare it to headshots that you have signed.
Jimmy made a witty remark about how easily she manipulated me. He then moved on to discuss Stormy Daniels' testimony in court, noting that it lasted for 3 hours and 44 minutes. Jimmy added a touch of humor by describing an awkward moment when the bias swore at her with a rolled-up Forbes magazine. During Stormy's testimony, Jimmy also joked about Trump's instinctive outburst, saying, "I'm a bad boy, mommy." The judge directed Stormy to discuss her relationship with Trump, but not delve into the details. Jimmy sarcastically objected to this, saying that they needed to know the details, especially for the sake of his show. He ended with a playful comment about eventually getting to hear some of those private details.
Stormy said their encounter was brief and that Trump did not wear a condom, which is not surprising. He also stared directly into an eclipse. Not exactly a safety first kind of guy. She said they had sex in the missionary position and that Trump told her she reminded him of his daughter. Feels like we should lock him up just for...
With a hint of humor, Jimmy revealed that Trump had referred to Stormy Daniels using the same nickname that Melania used at Mar-a-Lago, albeit in a completely different context involving FBI visits. He then playfully joked about prosecutors making sure that Stormy's testimony wouldn't include any graphic descriptions of Trump's private parts, encouraging viewers to look for such content on YouTube instead. Jimmy likened the updates on the case to the infamous Penthouse Risk Hood letters and recounted an unexpected scenario from Stormy's testimony where she exited the bathroom to find Trump waiting in the bedroom wearing only boxer shorts and a t-shirt. It was certainly not what she had anticipated.
Stormy Daniels says she came out of the bathroom and found that Trump was in the bedroom waiting for her. In his boxer shorts and a t-shirt, she'd been planning to go. She said he was seated on the bed between her and the...
Stormy recounted a story of Trump's toiletry kit containing Old Spice deodorant and a bottle of Pur Plus. Jimmy added to the humor by joking that these products were gentle enough for daily use, which may explain Trump's bouncy hair. Jimmy also brought up another instance of Trump's questionable behavior, specifically his proposition to have Stormy on The Apprentice during their romantic relationship. Stormy expressed concern about potentially being eliminated in the first episode, to which Trump offered insider information about the challenges. Jimmy found it ironic that Trump, who frequently complains about rigged situations, would be willing to manipulate his own show for personal amusement.
This is another fun detail. Trump watched Stormy's testimony on the courtroom monitor rather than looking at her directly. It was odd, because especially when he was looking at the monitor, he tried to fast forward to the sex scenes.
Trump was shaken by Stormy's testimony, as seen during his lunch break when he took to social media to express his frustration in all caps. Trump's lawyers argued that the testimony was unfair and prejudicial, making it difficult for the jury to remain impartial. Jimmy poked fun at Trump's previous blunders, including his complaint about not being allowed to attend Barron's high school graduation when the judge never actually prohibited him from attending.
On the day Barron is graduating in Florida, Trump is headlining an event in Minnesota. I guess Dad's not going to make the post-graduation brunch. Sorry, son, I have to go scream about windmills for 2 hours. And then we have Kristi.
As Jimmy shifted gears, he playfully directed his humor towards Governor Kristi Noem on her big day. He couldn't resist poking fun at her controversial stances and labeled her as the #1, or Kennedy of the Paw Patrol. Jimmy even speculated about her chances as a potential running mate for Trump, but humorously suggested that her reputation as a puppy shooter might have hurt her prospect. Despite this, he acknowledged her knack for diverting attention from other scandals. Jimmy then moved on to compare her with Mike Pence and teased about Noem distancing herself from her own autobiography, which he described as the perfect gift for those interested in traditional conservative values or contemplating a career as a serial killer. He even joked about her first book, where she considered sharing her dog shooting saga, but the publishers advised against it due to potential political consequences. Jimmy playfully agreed with the publisher's assessment and finally likened Noem to Cruella de Vil, the infamous antagonist from 101 Dalmatians. He commented on her current media tour, where right-wing news personalities like Eric Bolling of Newsmax are giving her attention, frantically searching for a way to lessen the negative impact of her controversial conduct. Jimmy offered a humorous suggestion that the editor nicknamed a person named Phil Dendron as a member of the Biden crime family.
I've also written a couple of books, and I know how the process works. You write some chapters. You don't write the whole book at once. You write a chapter or two. You send it to the editors, and they edit. They read it. They add. They subtract. And here's my question. The editor, was she possibly a...
Yes. The editor was a plant.
The comic proceeded to jovially explore another contentious section in Governor Noem's book, where she asserted that she encountered North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and boasted about giving him a piece of her mind. It was subsequently disclosed to be a falsehood, resulting in the deletion of the passage from the book. Jimmy playfully equated Noem's efforts to avoid questions about meeting Kim Jan to Merrill's verbal acrobatics of a similar nature, implying that she is grappling to articulate herself. He then amusingly mimicked her replies, satirizing her evasive maneuvers that are strikingly similar to Trump's own diversionary tactics.
I know you're a follower of God. I know you can quote the Bible. Meanwhile, because of the story, the leftist media has you out there killing Fido.
No. We don't have you out there killing Fido. You killed Fido.
During his show, Jimmy Kimmel decided to poke fun at a passage in Chris's book where she recalls a humorous yet harrowing moment from her childhood. The governor reminisces about a time when her family tried to catch a runaway chicken. As they chased after the bird, her mother held a baby in her arms and cried out in desperation. However, the chicken proved to be a formidable opponent, swiftly killing each of their birds with ease before moving on to the next. Chris likened the chicken to a skilled assassin, with its quick movements and deadly precision. Kimmel, known for his comedic talent, couldn't resist the opportunity to mock Chris's story in his typical fashion. He joked about the family's failed attempts to catch the chicken, imagining them running around in circles like a scene from a cartoon. He even went as far as to suggest that the chicken deserved a medal for its impressive hunting skills. Despite the lighthearted tone of the conversation, Chris's story serves as a reminder of the challenges that rural families face in their daily lives. For many, raising livestock and growing crops is not just a pastime, but a way of life. Each day is filled with tasks that require hard work, dedication, and a willingness to adapt to unexpected obstacles. Chris's childhood memory of the runaway chicken is just one example of the many challenges that rural families face. Yet, it is also a testament to their resilience and determination to persevere in the face of adversity. As Kimmel's jokes come to an end, we are left with a newfound appreciation for the hard work and dedication of those who work the land and raise livestock.
Talk about my personal meetings with world leaders.
So maybe you did have a conversation with Kim, but you don't want to talk.
I will not talk about my personal conversations with any world leaders.
That's right. I will only write about it in my book, and then immediately.
During one of his late-night monologues, Jimmy Kimmel couldn't resist poking fun at the glamorous Met Gala event, which had just taken place. His humorous commentary on the theme of sleeping beauties and the various celebrity outfits that graced the red carpet struck a chord with many viewers. However, it seemed that one particular individual was not amused by Kimmel's jokes, none other than former President Donald Trump. In his typical comedic style, Kimmel made a witty remark about how Trump should have been invited to the Met Gala due to his frequent courtroom snoozes during his Hutch money trials. This playful jab at Trump's legal troubles was met with a swift response from the former president, who took to Twitter to fire back at Kimmel. In a series of tweets, Trump criticized Kimmel's ratings and accused him of being a third-rate comedian. He also took the opportunity to defend himself against the accusations of falling asleep in court, stating that he was simply resting his eyes and that the judge had given him permission to do so.